believe in the paranormal. Since I was a kid, the unknown has always fascinated me. Even though I was being tormented by one at the same time. I want to tell my story chronology so you can see how it grows. Backstory: when I was 7 or 8, I tripped on a cord and busted my forehead open. I had to get it stitched up at the hospital, so most of my early years I vaguely remember. I'll try my best to keep it chronological. We will start. Since I can remember, I have always had nightmares. A specific nightmare, to be exact. It was disturbing nightmares about being sexually exploited. Sometimes I'm her and it's happening in my parents' house. Sometimes it is someone else and I'm living through her. One of many that I can still remember to this day is... I wasn't me, but I about 9 or 10 with a pink shirt on and capri blue jeans with Converse shoes sitting outside in the sun on concrete steps to a red bricked building. Somehow I knew I didn't want to be here, but I was being forced to. I knew I had to do actions that felt dirty and disgusting and left a burning hole deep in my gut. As I'm waiting in the beaming sun, I see this tall guy coming up the stairs and stopping by me to standing over me. I didn't want to look up at his face. All I saw was he was a skinny guy with straight-edge blue jean pants and black and white Vans, the classic slip-on ones. He then started walking in the building and the fire in my gut grew, knowing what's about to happen. I quickly woke up from the nightmare as soon as I walked in the building. I wanted to go back and save her. I didn't know what to do or how to react. I started to dread going to sleep. It felt like I may never wake up again. I would be trapped there, no way of giving myself control. I would also have nightmare of people trying to kidnap me. Running in a dream while in fear of being kidnapped is just so wrong. Like, why? That shit was ass. Then somehow it got worse. My dad would start to travel for work and me and my siblings would sleep with mom to comfort her. I'm probably 10 or 11 and again I didn't want to fall asleep in fear of a bad nightmare or eventually never waking up and being lost in the dream world. Suddenly one night I got flashes of an axe going against my own mom in my head while laying next to her. I quenched in what the hell was that? Clinging to my mom sleeping next to me, she moved away. She didn't like being touched while sleeping. I also thought that if I can just touch or feel that she's still right next to me, that I would fall into the dream world. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do or how to tell her, hey, I just had flashes of chopping up your body in my head and I'm scared, without scaring her or sounding crazy. I brushed it off as much as I could. Every night was a struggle to not go to sleep. At this point, things started to fly off shelves and loud bangs and random voices became more prevalent during the day. I remember some nights I could hear a whole party outside my bedroom. I would walk out like, who TF is here? Not a soul is in the living room or kitchen. Most nights I would hear like multiple people or some entity's feet shuffling right over me, like 2 or 3 people watching me sleep and moving around a lot, to the point where I stopped being afraid and just irritated by them. The shuffling got so loud I couldn't sleep till it stopped. One time I just woke up in the middle of the night and saw a shadow figure watching me sleep. The one closest was wearing a hat, and there were about 10 regular dark human-like figures standing behind him, spread out in the room. I would again see just the regular black shadows randomly. It got to my head, and I thought they were there to tell me what to do telepathically. After a while, I stopped seeing them. It started to become a joke that everyone was noticing random noises happening. My mom, being a big Christian, did not like that we thought there was a ghost in her house. Me and my brother and sister could feel something was there. As a kid, I loved to play imaginary teacher. I would set up my stuffed animals and give them grades, tests, timeout, recess, and sometimes teach what I just learned at school to them. My sister and I would share the same bedroom till we were almost graduating high school. At first she liked playing with me, but then she grew out of it quickly. Soon I couldn't play in my own room when she was there. I would teach in the kitchen, living room, but mostly I'd just move to my parents' room. My parents' room is where it started to get worse. After a moment of me starting to teach my class, I would feel something watching me, then the feeling would move to hatred. Like whatever it was watching me, it wanted me dead or suffering. Some days I couldn't be there long or be in a happy mood for long, or it would come out and watch me then push hate on me. I remember one time, I knew it was in the corner of my dad's side of the bed, and I looked right at it, feeling it look back at me with hate. I imagined it was a dark black cloud with energy flowing through it. I felt that it was a man, like how you can just feel someone's intentions. That sixth sense was telling me it was a man. Soon I just stopped teaching because I had no safe space to let my imagination run wild. Every time he just hated me, and it was like a deep, strong hate. Hating a 11-year-old trying to play imaginary teaching is just wrong. I started to get upset that this was happening. It's not like I killed the man. I had nothing to do with it, but it was almost like he targeted me to suffer with his hate at a young age. And while all this was going on every day, I became really suicidal. I would choke myself till I was about to pass out. I'd tie a belt to the closet coat rack and then the other end around my neck and lift my legs off the ground. Then started to self-harm around the 6th grade. Around high school is when my self-harming got out of hand and I was taking way too many sleeping pills and hops. I took too much. My mental state was on thin ice, is all I'm saying, and all at such a young age. Another incident was I liked sleeping on the floor, and somehow I was sleeping on the floor halfway in my parents' closet. My mom would just put all our laundry in this big pile because we didn't have room in the closets. It was a really small closet, but I remember laying on the floor in my parents' room next to the pile of clothes, putting my feet under their bed. I'm half asleep, half awake, hearing my mom and sister are getting ready for something, so they're coming in and out of the room. Suddenly I feel that this slimy or just wet, sweaty, long hand and long fingernails grab my foot, pulling me more into the bed. I jolted up and screamed, "Who just grabbed my foot?" My mom and sister came running into the room saying, "Not me." I just didn't know what to do, but just tried to forget it and act like it didn't happen. One time, my grandma came over from California. Frantically, she asked my mom, "Why didn't you tell me you invited that man here?" My mom replies, "What man? There's no one but us here." I saw a man sitting in my dad's chair. She later describes him as angry and mean-looking. That reassured me that what I felt was real. I eventually opened up about my nightmares to my mom, and she told me to put a Bible under my pillow. As so I did. And it helped out for a while, and surprisingly they stopped. I would get them now and then, but they stopped being frequent. Soon I would do the same when I would go out of my bedroom at night. I would feel him watching me. I would recite scripture and eternally reject his energy. Soon as I would speak those words, he would vanish, feeling actually alone. I was very suicidal through my childhood. Hurt myself into hatred. It felt like I was a monster. I can never prove it. But I believe he tormented me, put thoughts into my head, flashed dark images to me, to corrupt me into ending my life, whether it be physically or mentally. I picked myself up through failed attempts with psych ward and therapy. Only I can make the change in my life and force out those repetitive dark thoughts. Time passed and I was better. Endless nights of smoking Mary Jane and talking to myself, analyzing my mind. I haven't had interactions with him in years, although I thought I felt that dark presence at my last apartment place. I hear stories of demons attaching to someone and following them. I hope not for my case. The last connection was, I was getting ready for something I can't remember, but this when I was 18 or 17 while I was still living with my parents' house. I was getting ready in the back bathroom. My mom was getting ready in the front bathroom. Suddenly, I'm not making this up, I swear on my grandpa's grave, nothing in this is made up. This really happened and consumes me, and why the fuck did this happen to me? But I heard a deep male voice right next to me on my right. Speak my name, Alyssa, bold and clear as day. I turned my head slowly to the right in shock, looking at the shower, seeing this energy flow like how heat gives off a mirage. Then 4 seconds later, my mom called my name, and it disappeared. That scared the shit out of me. I got out of that bathroom so quick. I felt like I had to brush it off and repeat the cycle of trying to not let it bother me again. Sometimes I think he has been following me to this day. Just waiting. I'm 24 now. I can't get over the core memories of harming myself. I won't forget those horrid feelings I felt. I can never forget those nightmares. It seemed like torture of fear every night. I do think it might have been a demon instead of some guy who passed away and is pissed about it. I try not to give it thought or agenda to give power, but I'm imprinted by it.